not going to become an outlier unless your fundamental philosophy is different than everyone else. And that means that you're going to have to do some things that everyone thinks are wrong. I've never seen anywhere else that you can make $1 million a year so easily. Entrepreneurship to me was never just about money. It was probably more about.
In 2011, Sam Ovens thought he was successful. Corporate job at Vodafone, steady paycheck, air-conditioned office. But then one weekend at a friend's beach house, everything changed for him.
I remember my girlfriend at the time, her best friend, we got invited to their beach house, which turned out to be a private island. And I went there and I was like, oh my God, it had a helicopter and a golf course and it was a private island. And I was like, what does this guy do? And they said, oh, he's an entrepreneur.
And that shock ultimately led him to quit Vodafone entirely and move back into his parents' garage to start his first online business. He built Snap Inspect, then Consulting.com, which made him tens of millions of dollars, earning him a spot on Forbes 30 under 30 with a valuation of over $65 million. And now Skool, where he's going for 1 billion users and that billionaire status.
I wanted to build something that 1 billion people used. I guess some of my favorite products in the world have reached 1 billion people. And there's something about making something that people are using like every day.
But Sam didn't just build successful companies. He cracked the code on systematically creating extremely successful online businesses. And after spending way too much time studying every interview, every podcast with Sam, plus buying all of his digital products, I'm talking about Consulting Accelerator, UpLevel, WeTube, and now Skool, meeting him in person multiple times in Los Angeles as well, and sitting down in multiple one-on-one Zoom calls with him, I've discovered something that changes everything. And what I uncovered will surprise you, because everyone focuses on Sam's tactics and strategies, but there's something much deeper at play here, a completely different game that he's been playing this entire time. And once you understand the rules, everything can change for you as well. Because what you're going to discover in this video isn't just how to build a successful business, it's how to build an empire.
Yeah, there's this quote from Bill Gates, I remember. It was like, most people grossly overestimate what they will achieve in 1 year, but grossly underestimate what they will achieve in 10. Like I achieved like nothing in 1 year, but in 10, I didn't think I'd get this far.
Now, before we dive into all of the strategies, let me just rewind the tape for a bit. Because in 2017, I was lost. I desperately wanted to learn how to make money online. And one day, this ad popped up on my Facebook feed. An ad from this guy in a blue suit, standing in a luxurious high-rise New York apartment with a New York skyline in the background and a golden Rolex day date on his wrist. And his promise? To teach me how to start a consulting business. And I spent over 2 hours on this live webinar and decided to invest the final $2,000 that I had in my bank account on his Consulting Accelerator program. And that course ultimately changed the trajectory of my life. I started a service-based business, a social media marketing agency that I grew to over $50,000 per month in profit. But even after that success, something still didn't feel right.
The typical evolution I've seen with people in this space is that at first they'll do something as a service or whatever, and then they will make a course, right? And then that course might evolve to be more of a high-ticket coaching hybrid thing. Then the natural progression from there is to add a mastermind on the back end.
My business wasn't scalable. I knew I needed to transform from selling my time into selling a digital product. And in August of 2023, after making a YouTube video reviewing Sam's Skool platform, basically since I was intrigued by it as a solution to making a more scalable online education business, Sam reached out to me and we started talking. And during this conversation, he inspired me even more to go into the online education space. He made me realize that with a service-based business, I would always have a glass ceiling hindering me from scaling. And so on January 15th, in 2024, I took the leap of faith. I launched my first paid Skool community and online course. And in just 10 days after launching my course, I made $10,000 per month. In 20 days, I made $20,000 per month. And in 45 days, my online course and community on Skool made over $50,000 per month. But I also decided to compete in the first ever Skool games back in February of 2024. And Sam pushed me to win that contest, which I did. I went all in and managed to place top 10. And the prize? A trip to the US to meet Sam and Hormozi in person for the first time. So investing all of that time, money, and energy learning from Sam was the best decision that I ever made.
The top CEOs of Fortune 500 companies all over the world have a coach. You know, LeBron James has a coach. You know, every professional has a coach. The worst thing you can do is think that it's a waste and that you can do it all yourself. I think you should always allocate a certain amount of budget to learning and development.
It was the big aha moment for me, that investing money into learning from people way ahead of me was the ultimate shortcut to success. And since then, I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into coaching, consulting, courses, mentorship, masterminds. And over the next 12 months, I scaled that online education business on Skool to over $2 million. And now I'm shooting for that 8-figure business. But not only that, I've been able to help thousands of other people start their own online education businesses as well. Over 100,000 people in my free community, close to 1,000 5-star Trustpilot reviews, hundreds of video testimonials, and an endless amount of success stories. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check out the link in the description. But now back to Sam, because there is a secret to his success that not a lot of people are aware of, that changed the game for me completely.
I really think that the people who are in the future, they're going to be masters of YouTube organic. And that's where they're going to get their traffic. And that's the traffic machine. Because, you know, to make money as a creator on the internet, you need traffic. So I think in the future, you know, it's going to be YouTubers that really have this figured out. And then high ticket courses and masterminds, the product machine. You know, you need something to sell. And nothing is more efficient at converting traffic into money than high ticket courses and masterminds.
Because this is exactly what changed everything for me. Moving from a one-on-one service into a scalable online course. But not only that, also moving away from paid ads into organic YouTube traffic. That's why I've spent so much time and energy and effort into this video, because it generates attention and sales calls for free. But it gets even better than that, because YouTube even pays me in AdSense for making this video. Meaning that instead of me paying a bunch of money for ads, I get paid from YouTube for making this video. And also I have an asset that will live on forever and ever, generating attention and calls while keeping the profit margins for this online education business extremely high. Because I think that is the best move any entrepreneur can make in today's age. Creating a scalable, digital, high-ticket product and getting the traffic organically from YouTube. The sooner someone can move away from an unscalable one-on-one coaching or agency offer into online education, the better.
Again, it's very tempting, just like human nature, to think, okay, I'll just go build it, and then when I've got it and it's all shiny, I can then get someone to pay for it.
It's hard to get somebody to pay for something you haven't built yet.
Surprisingly not that hard.
It's not.
And this is also a huge lesson that I learned from Sam, that I don't have to build the product first, but actually do the traffic and sales first to confirm that the market exists and that they're willing to pay money for the solution that I have. So instead of spending months building a product that the market might not want or even need, I started selling it first. And then once I knew people wanted it, that's when I built the product. And I also taught this to one of my students, and he made over $150,000 in contracted value and over $50,000 in cash collected in just 3 weeks, without even having the product built or done yet.
You find out that the market really exists first, instead of like making something and then searching for the market, right? Which is the classic mistake a lot of people make. So by finding the market first, at least you know that that market exists.
Because as Sam says, the classic mistake is trying to create a solution first and then fitting that into a marketplace. The better way to go about it is this. First, identify a market that you're interested in and have passion for. That way you know that you will stick to it long term. Second, identify what their problem is. And then third, create a solution for that specific problem and then start selling.
Courses are a really great thing to sell, because there's a reason why a lot of YouTubers are selling courses, and you can make a lot of money selling courses. And really what it is because people want outcomes. They want to know how to get something. I think you need to move to high ticket next.
Yep.
And by high ticket, I mean something that's $3,000 or more. And it involves a phone call to get in.
But how do we do just that? Well, you create a simple call funnel, and then you promote it with YouTube traffic and retargeting ads. You generate sales calls and sell your high-ticket digital course over the phone or Zoom. It has worked for a long time, and it will continue to work for a long time in the future as well. And this simple snippet of information completely changed my life, giving me time, money, and location freedom. And building a business that's scalable has a massive impact helping others while also having a lot of fun. Because being passionate about your business is more important than you think. If you don't like your marketplace, you won't stick to it long term. And even if you have the market, you have the problem and the solution that works and makes you good money, you still need to have passion for it. And to give you an example, when I was running my marketing agency helping roofers with Facebook ads, I had a great marketplace, I had a great service, and I was generating great results for them and great money for me as well. But I was never passionate about roofing. Heck, I'd never even been on a roof myself. There was no passion there. So I ended up dreading the work and I ultimately quit that agency.
See, the problem I kind of had with Snap Inspect, my first successful app, was that I found the market, it existed. I found a problem, it existed. I made a solution, it worked. It's still successful. But I never liked the market. So my motivation didn't last for long. Then I found this other market that I did love. And that has been burning for a long time, that like fire, and it doesn't go away. And that's really the secret to it, is knowing the space that you're in and being passionate about it.
So what ultimately is the big secret behind Sam's success then? Everyone thinks that it's tactics, his funnels, his marketing strategies. But after studying him for years now, I discovered something much deeper. The real secret: passion is the fuel that makes everything else work. You can have the perfect market, the perfect product, the perfect system, but without genuine love for what you're doing, you will burn out, just like Sam did with Snap Inspect and like I did with my agency. The $1 billion difference is finding that one market where your fire never goes out. And also something that has really stood out to me when it comes to Sam is quality. Quality products, quality marketing, and an extreme attention to detail. Because we humans, we always want the most value for our money. So we will always buy what we think is the most valuable thing.
Like the best product always wins. It just takes the market time to realize what that is.
And once we have that great product in place, we need to focus on traffic. Quality, warm traffic that's ready to buy. And the warmer leads we can generate, the more we can sell people with free value on YouTube, the easier the sales process and conversion will be. And finally, we need to learn from someone that has done what we're trying to do. That's what I did. I saw Sam, he had what I wanted, and I knew that my money would be well invested because he had the proof to back it up. And looking back, the best thing that I ever did was to invest my money to fast track my success, getting help from someone that was way ahead of me. And again, what he taught me was to keep my focus simple, identifying a market I was passionate about, creating a solid product, and ultimately focusing on warm traffic using YouTube. I knew that if I could get that right, I would reach my goal of creating a successful business just like he did. But ultimately, it all comes down to what you want to do. If you know what you want and also why you want that thing, success basically becomes inevitable. Because what is tripping up a lot of people is the how. But the how will come to you as you progress towards your goal and refine your why. And ultimately, the biggest enemy in this quest of becoming an entrepreneur will always be yourself. You have the power to create the life that you want, but also have the power to ruin your chances of success. So by fixing yourself first, your mindset, your goals, your environment, that's how you fix your success in your business as well.
Because people don't really have business problems, they have personal problems that reflect in their business, right? So like a business is just an extension of you.
Because ultimately, I believe that the equation of making money online is pretty simple. You need traffic, preferably with a personal brand, paired with a scalable digital product. And if you do this right, you will have an extremely profitable and successful business you can work on for years to come, giving you that time, money, location freedom that you're looking for. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's easy, but why would you as an entrepreneur in today's digital world not focus on building a digital product and a personal brand? That is the future. So Sam, ultimately, I want to say thank you for inspiring me and hundreds of thousands of other people around the world and entrepreneurs to embark on this journey of entrepreneurship. You had a massive impact with consulting.com, and now with Skool, that impact is just growing bigger. I can't wait personally to grow my own online education business on Skool from your timeless and extremely valuable lessons that I've learned from you. But also, I'm looking forward to have a lot of fun. And ultimately, if you're somebody watching this video thinking about becoming an online entrepreneur yourself, just take the leap of faith and get started. Decide and then go all in. That's what I did, and I'm so happy that I did. It completely changed my life. And now, it's your turn.
Really, you just need to decide, I think, if you want to be an entrepreneur or not. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, then you need to commit to it.